What makes a great anime movie? Unlike anime series that have time to drag us into their fantasy worlds at their own pace, anime movies don't have that same luxury. With typical runtimes of 2 hours or less, anime movies have to work fast to introduce us to the main characters, the world, and make us invested in whatever's going on in the story, usually in the first 10 to 20 minutes. Upon starting this video, I took it upon myself to go back and watch some of anime's classic films, some for the fourth time and some for the first. Not long after starting, I quickly realized that most of my favorites were all Studio Ghibli movies. So instead of doing the video I originally planned of the top 5 anime movies of all time and have 3 to 4 Ghibli movies dominate that list, I decided to give the Ghibli movies their own list. I'm Action Figure Fit, and this is my top 5 Studio Ghibli films. First things first, what's in a name? The word Ghibli is an Italian word meaning hot desert wind. The studio was said to be named this because it intended to blow a new wind through the anime industry. The word also refers to an Italian World War II aircraft, the Caproni CA-309 Ghibli. The original Italian word is actually pronounced with a hard G, like Ghibli. But because of a translation error, the studio pronounces it with a soft G, like Ghibli. So they're both kinda right, kinda. Anywho, for the sake of this video and consistency, I will try to stick with the studio's pronunciation. Okay, so with all that being said, back to the topic at hand. Founded in 1985 by Hayao Miyazaki, Isao Takahata, and Toshio Suzuki, Studio Ghibli would go on to revolutionize the anime industry with the amazing quality of their films, earning them numerous awards and worldwide recognition. So without further ado, let's get to the list. Coming in at number 5 is Grave of the Fireflies. Most Studio Ghibli films are known for their whimsical stories and bright animations, but this film is anything but. Taking place in the final months of World War II, Grave of the Fireflies tells the story of siblings Seita and Setsuko and their desperate struggle to survive. Let's just get this out of the way. This movie is sad, like one of the saddest animations I've ever seen in my life. As a human being and a big brother, this story really gets to me. Even thinking about it now, I get a little teary-eyed. Saying any more could spoil the movie, but if you haven't seen it, be sure to have a box of Kleenex nearby. Also, be prepared to never look at fruit snacks the same way again. You'll get it once you see the movie. Coming in at number 4 is The Tale of Princess Kaguya. After one look, you can tell that this film is going to be special. It screams originality and looks like nothing you've ever seen before. The way the watercolor-esque aesthetic pops off the screen, it's a true spectacle for the eyes and gives the film a look all its own. Story-wise, the tale revolves around Princess, a miniature girl found in the forest after being discovered by a bamboo cutter. She is then raised by him and his wife. They quickly realize that this is no ordinary child, as she literally grows before their eyes. Once again, saying any more could spoil the movie, but the unique art style alone is worth the price of admission. Coming in at number 3 is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Okay, so this entry is a little bit tricky. It's kind of a stretch, as technically it came out 1 year before Studio Ghibli was founded, but with all of the same creative team behind the other Studio Ghibli films, I'm counting it. And besides, it's my list, so I can do what I want. Nausicaa tells the story of a princess living in the Valley of the Wind, a small isolated village nestled between a mountain and a vast toxic jungle. In the aftermath of a great war 1,000 years ago, man and nature are at odds. What the story pretty much boils down to is, can Nausicaa unite the two? This film has some serious themes and involves action and violence not seen in many Studio Ghibli films, and despite it being over 30 years old, its timeless animation holds up quite well. So let's switch gears for a second and talk about some other works inspired by Studio Ghibli. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Studio Ghibli and their animation style has had a worldwide impact, influencing and inspiring some of the greatest stories of the past 30 years, including Avatar: The Last Airbender, as well as its sequel series, The Legend of Korra, as well as the Legend of Zelda series, mainly The Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, and the latest masterpiece, Breath of the Wild, not to mention numerous other video games, cartoons, and movies. Alright, so without further ado, let's hop back into the list with the number 2 pick, Howl's Moving Castle. First, I want to give a shout out to my homie Amir, who recommended this film. I was almost done with my list when he said I had to see this film first, and he was right, as it's my second favorite Studio Ghibli film. Story-wise, Howl's Moving Castle revolves around a young hatter named Sophie, who is cursed with the appearance of an old woman, and has a chance encounter with the powerful wizard named Howl. What follows is an adventure filled with wizards, magic, and some very strong anti-war themes. Despite his reputation of being an evil wizard who steals the hearts of pretty girls, Howl isn't as he seems. As the credits rolled, I was very happy with the film and found it to be one of Studio Ghibli's, and more specific, Miyazaki's best works. Okay, so it's almost the moment you guys been waiting for, but first let's check out some honorable mentions. And the number 1 pick goes to Studio Ghibli's crowning achievement, Princess Mononoke. This is the movie that put Studio Ghibli on the map and exposed them to international recognition. Princess Mononoke is their darkest story by far, but never does the violence seem forced or out of place. Princess Mononoke is also the first Studio Ghibli film that I've ever seen, so it'll forever hold a special place in my heart. Story-wise, Mononoke tells the story of Ashitaka, a prince cursed by a corrupted demon. Although the curse gives him superhuman strength, it is also fatal, and therefore he sets out on a journey to find the cure. While on his journey, he learns of an ongoing war between the spirits and the humans. Among the spirits is a strange human girl dressed as a wolf named San. To find out what happens next, go watch the movie. I promise you won't be disappointed. First, I want to thank everyone who made it this far into the video. You guys are awesome. And secondly, I want to apologize to my subscribers for the long wait between videos. As I mentioned in the beginning of this one, I was originally working on another video before realizing this one seemed to make more sense. As always, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and also share the video to continue to help the channel grow. Also, please be patient and be on the lookout for my next video, the retrospective of The Legend of Korra. This has been a passion project for me, as Legend of Korra is probably one of my favorite shows of all time. This will be the biggest project I've ever worked on, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. But until next time, stay awesome.